Hello, beautiful orbs. Oh my goodness, there's so many orbs flying by. Um, okay, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna trust that you're gonna pop in right when you need to. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another video here on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. I have had so many orbs, so I hope that you will see them today. I think I just saw one right there. So keep your eye on the orb situation, but here's what I wanted to share with you guys today. So I'm doing something really different for this video. When I tuned into, like what should I talk about? And I normally would choose like a topic instead of being a topic. What they said, what Spirit said was, we want you to do channeled messages for the people that will see this video, and trust us that we will make sure that those people see this video. So don't be afraid to get really, really specific. It's okay if you're like in your mind, you're thinking, well, that's really specific, like, and worrying, oh no, it won't apply for everybody. It's like they're saying, no, get very specific. We're going to divinely orchestrate things on the other end so that the people that need these messages will see them. And so that's weird. I think the internet just glitched, but I think we're good. So the people that will see them, that need them, will see them. So you need to listen up, because there's probably so many messages in here for you. And then can you let me know if they were for you in the chat? I would love to hear that. That, okay, this particular one was for me, and it's probably going to be for more than one person, but we'll just see, because I have a feeling that these are going to get like really specific. And I felt the energy like really building as soon as they were telling me like what this video was going to be like. They're like building the energy of it so big. So I'm like, oh, like I already feel all this like psychic pressure of things like trying to come through, if that wording makes sense for you. It can be a little bit hard to put words to things that are like so magical, but okay. So let's do this. It's going to be like I'm giving you a reading. Okay. This is like client session. Here we go. I'm so excited for this. So get cozy. I got my warm tea. I hope you have something cozy, and it's getting kind of cold where I live. So it's starting to feel like cozy winter vibes. And I'm just so excited to do this for you. And so I want to start with getting you ready to receive these messages, because there are times when there are messages for you and you don't click together that that was for you, because you weren't in the right mind frame for that. And so if I can help you to quiet down your mind and bring stillness into the body, and they're also chiming in right now and saying people need to bring their souls down into their body for this, to receive this, because we also have some activations for certain people that are going to see this. So it won't just be messages coming through. There will also be some very powerful activations. It sounds like we're going to be doing some clearing of some blocks, some dense energies. It looks like there's some psychic blocks, or maybe some I don't know, some chakra blocks maybe. I'm just going to stay really open to what wants to come through, and I just want to serve you in this way and be this like channel, literally, for this to come through for you. So they're saying, okay, back to what they were saying, is you need to come into your body to receive this. So that's what we're going to work on, is getting you in your body. Okay. So I need you to do this with me. Okay. If it's safe for you to do so, please participate. I want to bring you back into your body. I want to set up a sacred space. The sacred space not only brings you down into your body and helps you quiet down to receive, but it also makes sure that everything that I channel through is anchored in the divine truth of what is for the highest good for you, divinely timed and orchestrated and true. Okay, not coming from me, but truly coming from these higher dimensional realms. All right, so let's do this together as if we're in a little session right now together, like if you came to me. So I would say to you, my client, okay, I want you to place your hands over your heart with me and close your eyes. And I'm going to count you through a couple of deep breaths. And I want you to know that with every single breath, your mind is getting quieter and your body is getting more still. Take a nice deep inhale in now. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Another deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Last deep breath in. 2, 3, 4, hold, and exhale. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now just continue breathing in a nice relaxed way, keeping your eyes closed just for this point. I'm going to call into your space, into your very room with you right now. On the left-hand side, Archangel Michael comes in. As he gets closer to you, feel the pressure in the ear that happens. On the right-hand side, I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael coming in nice and close to you. In front of you, the Divine Feminine Archangel Haniel coming in close. And then behind you, I call in your council. They're saying your earth council, they're saying your soul contracts council for earth. The people that helped you to write your soul contracts and helped you to make all of the decisions about what you're supposed to do here and how you're supposed to heal here and how you're supposed to be of service here. Your soul contracts council is coming in behind you. I'm going to ask these beings that are surrounding your body to start to raise your frequency now by filling you up with their love, by filling you up with their healing, by filling you up with their higher frequencies. So feel the tingles in the toes, and then it rises up the legs into the hips. All these high percolating frequencies rising up through the core, the chest, the back, the shoulders, going out the top of the head, clearing on its path. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to place a blue bubble of protection around everyone so that it acts like a filter to your highest good. Only that which is for your highest good will connect with you today. I want to call on God Source next, calling on Father, Mother, God, from where you exist, at the edge of the universe, where the stars end, there is a doorway of light. Please open that door to us now, God Source, the door to your heart and your unconditional love and your life force frequency. And please send that white and golden light down in a stream towards each one of us. It comes down, weaving down through the stars, down through Earth's atmosphere and sky. It finds you wherever you are. And one of those strands of light comes down now through the ceiling of the room or the space that you're in. It's going to go into the crown chakra in 3, 2, 1. This golden and white light pushes down into the crown. Feel the pressure as it clears the third eye, the ears, going down to clear the throat, going down to clear the heart chakra and the chest and the upper back, going down the arms into the hands. It's going down further to clear the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, the back, the lower back, the hips, white light pouring into your legs, into your feet and toes, until you are so filled with white light and golden light that you are glowing. Anchor us here, God Source. Anchor us in the light. Anchor us in truth. Let everything that I channel today be true, and let it find the exact person that it's meant to find, the exact person that the message and the guidance and the activations are for. Let them miraculously be watching this right now. And I thank you so, so much. Okay, we are all set up with our sacred space, and we are going to jump into some channeled messages, and we're just going to see where this goes. I'm hearing now that it's not just from one source. I'm not just channeling messages from this or from that. It's going to be a lot of different sources that I'm going to channel today. The first one so clearly kept happening in the sacred space. A couple of things kept happening in the sacred space, but I saw this outline of a blue avian being, a man, standing behind me. Ooh, and I got chills when I said that just now. Ooh, that's my confirmation from spirit when I like hit on something where we need to be. A very tall blue avian, shaped like a humanoid, but has wings, feathers, a beak, very kind eyes, and then kind of like a blue feathered head going back, but shaped like a human man in a way, but taller. So there's a blue avian here, and he wants to share a message with someone specific, and you'll just know if it's for you or not. You might get a feeling in the gut, like a ping in the gut. You might get chills. You might get a physical sensation that it is for you. And you also might just know. So tune into the sensations in your body as we're channeling this. So I'm going to ask that blue avian to share with me the exact message that needs to come through right now. Okay, So this blue avian is talking about how there is someone watching this right now that knows that they are a spiritual warrior, which is a very specific archetype. It's not everybody, right? The warrior archetype is very different than just like a light worker or like a healer or like a channeler. There's a difference. And the spiritual warrior is here to shine a light on the darkness of this world and to shine a light on the corruption of this world. And it needs to be illuminated, because the deeper and deeper we go into this global ascension, the ascension of the collective consciousness, the more things need to be brought into the light, because it begins the ascension symptom of the purge. We need to shine a light on the darkness and the corruption in order to purge it, in order for that ascension phase to start. Okay, so in order to purge corruption from society and from the systems within society, people need to shine lights on this. And there are very specific soul or souls watching this right now, that is your sacred mission here, that you are working in very much in a fourth dimensional frequency, where you are in a bridge in between the unawakened 3D people and the awakened 5D people, and you're working as a bridge here in 4D. And your bridge is helping that illumination of the corruption and the darkness, okay? It's an in-between place to be, because when people awaken, they have to travel through the bridge of 4D into 5D. And so you're bringing people into 4D, which is so important. You're bringing people into their sacred rage. You're bringing people into their, like, understanding of how much deception is going on. You're bringing people into the understanding that everything that we think is real is not, and that it's all like a play to keep people subdued and to keep people controlled. You're bringing people through that. It's a very delicate balance of the sacred rage and justice and free will and equality for everyone, and not going too far into, we want revenge, now we're being vindictive, now we want this. Your balance here in your path is to take people along that 4D bridge, to understand and to experience those very deep and dark feelings, but to keep them on the edge of, this is all coming to light for a reason. This is all leading somewhere good. The reason that we're discovering this now is because we are going into New Earth and going into a better society. Keeping it on the love side, keeping it on the positive side like that, and not having people slip off onto the side where they then become a part of the problem, energetically polluting society with their anger and their rage and their vindictiveness. There's a difference between sacred rage and just straight up rage. Sacred rage is, this is wrong and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to, not vindictively, I'm going to build a better world. I'm going to show people there's another way. We can do this together. We can come together. And it turns into 5D, which is actually unity coming together in love and in building that new world. So it is an important pathway, and every single soul that gets to 5D has traveled through that. So think about yourself in your own awakening. There was a phase in your awakening where you just went down rabbit holes, where you just had to be in 4D for a while. There is, oh, you know what I just got? Oh, okay. So the people that I'm talking to are the sacred guides to bring people through that very, very difficult and confusing time of 4D. It's more than a sacred guide. There's another word this blue avian is saying. One second. I'm being shown the symbol of like a shepherd or a shepherdess who leads like people across something dangerous, like literally seeing like a shepherd and a shepherdess, like, because I think this is more than one person's sacred path, leading like a flock of animals, maybe sheep or something that needs guidance across this like rickety bridge that, and below is just this huge like pit, and they're going from one world to the other, 3D to 5D, and this is a really difficult time. And momentum is important here, because you don't want to stop on the bridge. You want to keep going, and then you get here, and and this Blue Avian is saying that they want you to specifically call on the Blue Avians on your own team, and that they are very good at also helping you. So they'll be your guide as you are the guide for other humans, like you're the guide for the newly awakened, and they're a guide for you. And everyone is guiding each other through this realm to this realm, through that in-between place. Okay, is there anything else that this Blue Avian can share with you on how to do this? They're saying you start with the illuminations, and you make sure that the energy that illuminations of the corruption and the darkness on a platform where people can find you, right? A podcast, YouTube channel, IG page, TikTok, whatever it is you choose, but making sure that the frequency or the energy that you're posting it in is one of let's do better. Can you see how this is separation and division? How can we turn this into unity? How can we do better? And making sure that you're not posting in the energy of just straight up anger and like, I hate them, I can't believe they're doing this, because then you just make it worse. Okay, that's an energetic pollution. Okay, let's move on. So that was definitely for someone that was Blue Avians. Call on the Blue Avians. No, I guess we're not done. The Blue Avian just said that they want to activate you into your sacred archetype of the spiritual warrior and of this particular guide that is taking people across this bridge. And the bridge feels in my mind and symbolically how I'm seeing it is like this dangerous bridge. Like it's a really vulnerable time in someone's awakening where they can go off in the wrong direction. Things can go awry very quickly. And so you need to make sure as the guide, as this bridge for people that are coming from an awakening and going into 5D, you need to make sure you are solid in your mission, that you understand what you're doing, that you don't go off the rails into the lower energies, right? So the activation that wants to come in now is for the heart. This is a Blue Avian activation in the heart for the spiritual warrior heart template. And it's to give your heart the strength to stay on the path of like looking at the end result, so that you don't get lost in the sauce and lost in the details, that your heart can always keep a clear picture of we're going somewhere better, new earth, we're going to do society different, we're going to build things different. It's like giving your heart strength and stability and resilience and determination. And it's like this very powerful heart activation. So if this is for you, I want you to make sure that you're ready to receive this. It's going to come through me, but from the Blue Avian. And I want you to, he's giving me his name for a reason. One second. He's saying his name is Orthos, O-R-T-H-O-S, Orthos. When a being like that of a higher dimensional nature gives their personal name like that, it's like very sacred. It is a gift. It is an invitation to work with them. I just want you to know that that's really special to receive that. So if this is for you, you are really being called like to specifically receive a name like that. I mean, then use it, right? Sit down. When I say work with them, I mean like get into a quiet state, set up your own little mini sacred space, and then call them in by name, Orthos in by name, and say, I'm ready to do this work. Show me what's next. And then every time you go to create a post or write your book or create your podcast or whatever you're going to do with this beautiful warrior template, this archetype, this leader that you are, then you call him in. Okay, I'm about to write a post. Like, Orthos, come in. How can I word this just right? How can I show this just right? It's like you're a reporter or like a journalist for the dimensional realms of ascension. You're like an ascension reporter where you're going to be reporting things and illuminating this darkness and all of this, and then helping people through it. So you're not just dropping videos and facts about look how dark this is. You're then also creating content to here's what we need to do next. Here's how we can send it forgiveness. Here's how we can do that. You're doing energy worker on top of that. So there's so much. Okay, let's go to the heart. There's just I wish I could sit with you personally and just go, because there's so much to tell you. But I do want to move to the next group that has a message coming through. But Orthos is going to bring in an activation for the heart. It's a Heart Chakra expansion and navigation path for your heart to stay very anchored into your mission of getting people to that end result of 5D. In order to receive this, I'm going to ask you to lean back in your chair. When it comes to receiving in this area of heart or throat, the best thing you can do is just tilt your chin up a little bit, and you can feel it open when you do that. Breathe, eyes closed, relax, receive. Okay, Orthos, I'm ready to do this activation. Okay, he's saying, well, first, let's reach into these people's hearts and pull out everything that is not that. Pull out everything that is not a part of their mission. The lower energies below neutral of straight rage and anger and the things that will make them go astray need to come out and be replaced with a higher dimensional frequency version of that. So I'm going to, again, breathe, lean back, chin up. Orthos and I are going to reach in deeply to the heart chakra now and pull out the darker energies. It's sticky. As I pull it out and throw it into the violet flame, there's sticky tar-like bits that want to come out. So we're going to pull that out as much as we can, pulling out everything under neutral. So you're going to pull out all that icky low vibes for you and make space in your heart for more, going in deep, going into the corners of the heart. And then we're going to bring in almost like a flame of white light. And this flame is going to burn away everything that is not for the highest good, that's not for this mission. All these lower things that are just too sticky to pull out. So brace yourselves now, but keep breathing as the flame goes in 3, 2, 1. Sending in that white flame, sending in that white flame, sending in that white flame, melting or burning away everything that does not resonate in the same frequency as this white light flame. Good. So we've cleared out a lot of space, and now we're going to fill the heart chakra up with the spiritual warrior's heart template. Okay. And it's going to be, oh, I just heard, this is specifically going to be Blue Avian language, like sacred language, coding, Blue Avian coding. Choshidish koramishda, oshdaria kosh, sorashida shokor, ishdor, ashdor, ish koramiasash, orangishdor, ish koreakak dor, ok ar, ishto koreamosh dis sorkidar, oshdar kuma gyad shodkor, sik ashdoroyomosora. Good. Asking Archangel Michael to seal the heart up now in a cocoon of white light for integration. So we'll just seal up all of that heart chakra work now into a little cocoon of, I'm seeing, I called for white light, but he's actually putting gold around the heart. So gold is fine. Gold is going around the heart now. Gold symbolizes upgrades. It's going to hold in that space, hold it all in, contain it all until the heart like, woo, receives, integrates, and then can basically turn over into a new version of itself. It's basically like hollowing out the old heart chakra and then completely installing a new one coded for your mission. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So we've done Blue Avian. I want to call on who else wants to come forward right now. Clear that energy. Okay, I'm seeing rainbow. Okay. I am seeing dragons and phoenixes of the crystalline rays. So like sparkling, kind of diamond, rainbow, prismatic colored rays of light, specifically phoenix and dragon. And they are here for someone. They said, we're here for the activators. There are people watching this that are meant to be activators of others, right? Being an energetic activator is a very sacred mission. It's very different than being just a healer. A healer has like a more of a softer, kind of like angelic feeling to them, or a unicorn kind of vibe or something like that. Being an activator is a lot more fiery. Like think it's dragons and phoenixes. That makes perfect sense. It's like hot energy. It's like pins and needles and tingles and hot and sweating and like It's a lot. It's intense, right? So it's very different than being just a healer. Now, I will say, if you are being called to be an activator, and we'll get a message so that you can self-identify, but that it's always important to also have the basics of healing, though. Like, I am an activator, but I need to know how to also heal, clear, remove things so that I can then activate afterwards. You always want to remove what's not supposed to be there before you put anything new in. So clearing first, and then activations always, no matter what area of the body you're working on. All right, so I'm going to ask the crystalline phoenixes. I'm seeing dragons too. They're hanging back. They might come forward in a bit. There's a phoenix vibe here right now. It's a very like activating, fiery, let's go, activating people into their next version, like divine human blueprint, next version of your evolution. Like, you need to change in order to grow. You need to, like, the blueprint, the chakras, even the physical form all starts to evolve as we get deeper and deeper into our ascension. So I'm going to ask these phoenixes, I'm going to channel for you now, phoenixes. Thank you so much for showing up. Who is this message for? How will these people listening know that you're speaking to them directly? Okay, so they're saying that the people that this message is for have felt deeply within that they are able to manipulate energy, weave energy, move energy with just a thought. I see you being a kid and understanding deeply how to, like, they're showing me you like bringing energy up. Like, okay, so if you saw like a plant that was sick, or you went on a walk and you saw like a tree that needed help, like you'd like pull the energy up from Gaia and put it into the tree, like whoosh. I see you being able to like clear energy away from things that you don't like, stripping it out. Like, you're doing things with your hands when it comes to moving energy that just comes naturally to you, that no one taught you. So up, stripping things away, pulling things out, putting things in, like, you're moving your hands a lot when it comes to manifestation and your energy work. So that's the first sign. The second sign is that you have had many rebirths in this life, just like a phoenix has had, where you're almost like Madonna, like, weird reference, but you know how she like reinvents herself every couple of years and she's just like completely different. I mean, there's a lot of artists that do that, but that's like you reinvent yourself over and over and over and over again. And you feel like a different person in each one of those rebirth cycles. You change the way that you look, drastically. You change your location. You probably move a lot. You might change your job a lot. You might change your circle of friends a lot. You've rebirthed and reinvented yourself so many times, and you've been so many versions of you that when you look back, even like 5 years ago, that's not even you. Like, you know that that's not even you now. Like, it's so weird to look back at old videos or photos of yourself because you're like, whoa, like, who even was that? Like, it's hard for you to even resonate with that anymore because you change so quickly and often, and it's hard for you to keep stability in your life because of that. So you tend to restart jobs, like I said, or friend groups, or even maybe relationships, or it's hard for you to find like real stability because you change so quickly. You're magnetic. You attract people all the time that need help, people that are very gifted. You can tell they're extremely gifted people. They are like you can just see that they have huge missions and huge gifts. They seem to keep coming to you and you're not sure why. And so you've been encouraging them a lot with words, but what you're supposed to be doing is activating them. You're being sent people to activate because you send out this beacon without even meaning to. Like, energetically, you're sending out this beacon that come to me for your activations. Like, I'm here for that. And so people that have these gifts and have these big missions keep finding themselves wanting to reach out to you or wanting to spend time with you, and they don't know why, and this is why. Okay, so you're an activator, and specifically you're working with the Phoenix realm in this fiery, fiery energy of this like very elevated frequency. Like, when I see rainbow rays, diamond coated rays, it is very like it's an elevated ascension beyond 5D. So 5D is the consciousness ascension. We ascend our self-awareness and the way that we think. Now we're thinking more. It's all about thinking in the mind and shifting the chakras. But 6D and above is really more about ascension of like the physical form. It's more than just your thoughts. It's ascension of your physical self, your actions, your templates, your blueprints, things coming online. Like it's more of a tangible ascension, which means that there's, a lot of ascension symptoms with that. Okay, so that's who this is for. All right, so Phoenixes, now that you've helped them to know who they are, what did you want to share with them? They're saying you are a Phoenix soul in a human form. And because you are a Phoenix in your DNA and in your soul, you are us. They're saying you are one of us. You have had many lifetimes as a Phoenix. You love to be in that form. You've been a Phoenix in different kinds of worlds or dimensions, and you've chosen the Phoenix many times. The symbolism of the Phoenix maybe means a lot to you. But there's something else. They're saying because you are a Phoenix, you have an inner fire. And when you're not using that inner fire towards your sacred purpose, it gets blocked inside and creates issues for you and your health. So too much fire within because you're not sending it out in a stream of directed purpose. And so too much fire within creates, so emotionally, that would create like anxiety. It would create like ADHD. It would create like too much action of thoughts, like too many racing, like I'm seeing like a tornado of fire in your mind, like it's just all the time. And then put that into the body and imagine what that is doing. You have like a literal like funnel cloud or tornado of this fiery energy, and it needs to be released. And when your magic builds up like that, it does create problems in the body. So then it starts to create like over saturation of, I mean, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like I've seen it in people before where some of their chakras are over firing, if that makes sense. Like they're too hot, they're too big, they're too hot, they're spinning too fast, and they need to be cooled down and calmed down. And then other chakras have the opposite problem. You're in this like too much. You're spinning inside of yourself with all of this fire, and it's creating this anxiety, it's creating this urgency, and it's creating this like angsty feeling. And then physically it's creating like, they're showing me like thyroid issues, like when things are oversaturated, over the top, out of balance, too much of something, right? It can be imbalances, hormonal imbalances, thyroid imbalances. I kept seeing like ADHD and like different kinds of cognitive things as well. So, all right, so that's what you might be experiencing. And so you need to create an outward pathway, an outward channel for this fire to travel down that feels like sacred purpose, which means you need to start using your gifts in service, right? So if you've never used your activator gifts, you're here to activate people. If you've never used that before, then the first way that you can start to release this pent up pressure and fire is by practicing your gifts. You can take a course, you can get some training, I can absolutely help you with that. I have many different mentorships or courses or packages where you could be practicing this and getting it out of you need to get it out of your system. You need to start a steady stream of using the gift. Okay. Okay, good. So we need to practice. We need to use how to use the gift. We need to get it out of our body so it's not melting us from within. And then once we get more confident with using the gift, then we need to start using it on people in sacred purpose. And the reason why is because as soon as you start to use this stream of activation energies for people, it changes your gift. The more that you use it in service, the more people that you help, the stronger it gets, the more nuanced it gets, the more different kinds of people you'll be able to help, the more different kinds of activations you'll be able to do. It's really, really powerful stuff. So the Phoenix, the ascended Phoenix, collective of activators, like whatever that is. Oh my God. Is very specific. And so we're going to do a little release for you of this fiery tornado, this fiery tornado within you. I'm seeing a lot of it in the stomach. I'm seeing a lot of it in the solar plexus. So I want to do a little release here for you, but I also feel like an activation wants to come in for you. Activate your activator template. Okay. This is your sacred archetype, your template, what you're here to do. If you're here to be an activator, okay, you're here to work with phoenixes and dragons, though they stayed back a little bit. They feel like they work together a lot. And you're here to activate people. And that's why these people keep finding you, because they have these huge gifts and these huge missions, and they need to be unblocked. They need to have their gifts like set free. They need this unlocking. And you're going to do that for people, but we're going to do it for you first. So I'm going to ask this Phoenix if there's anything that it wants to share before we do the energy work. I'm getting another name, which is crazy. What is even happening today? It's a female Phoenix. She's huge. She's orangey red and fiery. She has these like very bright silver eyes. She said that her name, to translate her name to English, it would be Valasa, Valasa, Valasa. So if this is for you, please work with her. And then I want you to get into receiving mode. I'm going to be going into the solar plexus right here at the top of the stomach. So lean back and maybe arms open a little to open this area. Okay. And first I want to do a release. So Valasa, please come in. For all the souls that are here to be activators, we're going to release some of this pent up fire so that you can get calm, clarity of your path, and calm and healthy again. So we're going to safely release that fire. And the Phoenix, interestingly enough, is getting really close down to your solar plexus and Valasa is opening her beak, her mouth wide. She's going to eat the fire. She says that's the safest way, is for her to take it from you. Okay. And she says, don't worry, it's not going to hurt her. She's made of it, but it's too much for you right now in the human form. And it's been building up for too long. So lean back, arms out a little bit. We're going to open up the sacral now. So I'm going to do like, almost like psychic surgery here. I'm going to do like a little tiny incision in the sacral. So I'm seeing this yellowy, fiery orb of your chakra right at the top of your stomach where your ribs start to separate. Going to do a little slit in the chakra. Don't worry, we'll get that sewn back up. And then I'm going to squeeze it open a little bit, and I'm going to move out of the way because this huge stream of fire just started shooting out. Valasa comes in. I'm going to hold that open, and she is opening her beak wide and receiving it. And I see her body growing in size as she receives all of that. It's like there's a screaming sound to it as it comes out, but like the shriek of a phoenix. Your inner phoenix is shrieking as we are releasing this pent-up energy. We're not releasing your power, don't worry, we're releasing the too muchness that's been stored in you that's making you imbalanced. So I'm just holding that open until enough has come out, and then once it has, we're going to seal this area back up with gold. So calling down from Archangel Raphael, calling down a stream. Now he's giving it to me in a thread of golden light. And I'm going to sew that area closed again so that it's nice and sealed, and pull that tight. These golden threads melt in, so there's not even a scar, there's no mark, it's not going to harm you at all, but we needed to release that. But now we need to go in and activate the sovereign template of this Phoenix activator that you are. And I see that it needs to happen from the top of your head down the ridge and into your wings. So if you imagine what a phoenix looks like, they have these feathers that stand up almost like a fire down the top of the head, down, like almost like a mane on a horse, but this is like a phoenix feathers that stick up high there, and then across the arm. So I'm going to activate that now using Valasa's sacred coding here for you. Okay, so again, you really just want to be leaning back to receive this. I think just arms out a little bit at the sides would be helpful. Okay, don't tilt your head up because we're going behind your head. Maybe tilt your head down a little, actually, just putting your chin down, arms slightly out. Okay, get ready to receive. Just breathe for me. I'm going to be activating your she said we're going to be activating your flight feathers on that ridge down and then across the wings. Okay. And this is going to be her specific language encoding. So I'm going to ask Velasa to speak through me now. Shadis kishis us dash sindian de okosh sidashi diasakor shidasi diasakor shosh dis andia sodoyom yasi kiashtoyos kiashtos shis Oria shanda yomosia sidia korea sidi sadaya shodos shindi sak sodosia nayomosho kiashdashiko oriandayash sidish kiasodoyo moyashi diasada oriashi sodokosomia orian shidia si shi koshtada orian shi koria shada oshta sidia moyasi ar shis ar kyosh shidas shi shodododododo orashi shi asha sash osh dash ashdash sodash shidash. Beautiful. I saw this ridge of fiery feathers grow up around your head, straight down like a mohawk, and then follow straight out to the tips of your wings. And I see behind you this energetic form of this phoenix, like it's you, like your aura like is an overlay right now of an image around you of this phoenix, and you're here to shriek these activations into the people that find you, into your clients. And yeah, that is just so powerful. That was very warm energy, very activating. Thank you to that beautiful phoenix. Okay, so we're going to move on to one more group. I feel like one more energy wants to come in. I'm going to open up myself to receive and to see through my third eye who is stepping forward next for us. I'm seeing Anubis. Anubis, the black canine being, kind of looks like a cross between a wolf and a dog, wearing very Egyptian-looking golden plates on the shoulder and this deep V bar of gold down the chest, and then this like lapis lazuli blue and golden striped like skirt thing, whatever that would be called. So this ancient Egyptian god, which when they called them gods and goddesses, just like higher dimensional being is what really that means. Anubis coming in. Okay. I don't think I've ever channeled Anubis. I'm excited to hear this. Okay, so Anubis is here for a specific group of people, specific individuals that are going to see this. Anubis, who are you here for? And then what is your message? So first, who are you here for? He says, I'm here for the priests and the priestesses. I'm here for the sorceresses and the sorcerers. I'm here for the souls rooted in their ancient magic. I'm here for the ones that naturally cast spells all day long without meaning to. I'm here for the ones that have that intensity to their magic, where it's not all love and light, where it's a really good balance between the light and the shadows to create a wholeness. I'm here for the ones that use the elements. I'm here for the fearless. I'm here for the bold. And I'm also hearing too that you probably feel a really strong connection to ancient Egypt. I feel like this one is for me too. So I feel like this is interesting because like I'm getting pulled in. I'm like, as soon as he started saying stuff, I'm like, it's me. It is. And it's probably you too. And you're meant to find this. Okay. So Anubis, we know who we are. We know who we are. We're so attracted to gold. We're so attracted to like lapis lazuli and labradorite and garnet and staffs and the pyramids and the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. and the scarab beetles. And this ancient magic that has a lot more depth to it than just like some of the really higher dimensional realms that feel a little more fluffy, like the love and the light. It feels a little more like depth to our ancient magic. It's like, it's earthy, it's grounded, it's ancient, it's got an intelligence of its own. It has its own will sometimes, and it's powerful, and we have to be careful with it. And it's intense. Yeah. Okay, so I think you know who you are from that. So now let's get his message. All right, Anubis, what do you want to say to all of us priests, priestesses, sorcerers, and sorceresses from ancient Egypt that are here now in the flesh? What would you like to say to us about? What's your message? Okay, so the first thing that he's showing me is like a clock, like an old looking like pocket watch kind of thing. And he's saying it's time. It is time for the sorcerers, the sorceresses, the priests and the priestesses to stop ignoring that pull in your gut of power. It's not just magic. It's not just spells. There's a power to you, and it feels old, and it feels ancient, and it feels connected to ancient Egypt, and it feels connected to other ancient civilizations. It just feels rooted in the past and the power of that. Okay. He's saying it's time for you to stop ignoring that pull, to turn away from it, maybe in fear. It's time for you to step boldly and without fear into the template of the dark priestess or the dark priest. And when he's saying that, it's not black magic, it's not negativity, it's not harming others at all. It is just ancient. It is just old magic. So I don't want you to feel all like it's a negative thing at all. It's just different than a lot of like magic that people are using on Earth. There's roots to it, you know? It's got all this depth to it. He's saying that you are masters of sovereign creation. He moved his hand like this when he said that, of sovereign creation, which we would call manifestation. You are masters of sovereign creation. You are masters of bending and weaving time, matter, and reality to your will. Use this now. This is for you to use. You can use it in service, and you can use it to weave yourself a higher timeline that then pulls up the collective timeline. And you can use it to weave others into their highest timeline. So there's timeline work, there's the sovereign, the creator of the manifestation work. What else is here, Anubis? He's saying working with the gods and goddesses of old, specifically calling in the ancients from the, not just ancient Egypt, but like ancient civilizations, working with the gods and goddesses from ancient civilizations to be your mentors, to help you understand your gifts and how they're going to be wielded here on Earth. There is a place for them here. Just because you're not in an ancient civilization, and then he corrected me, he says, but you are. Because there is already the timeline of your future where people look back on this as being an ancient civilization before they had, before they had all the things that, all the technology that we're going to have in the future, and how things are going to be so run by automations and AI and clean energies, and the world's going to look very, very different very quickly now. We are in an ancient civilization, and we are in a time when we can really access the elemental energies of Gaia, pulling those up. We can really access he's showing me time, that time is like a source that you can reach into and manipulate time. And timelines. So timelines, manifestations, elemental magic, all of this is our gifts. All right. There's something else. One second. He's saying there are so many priests, priestesses, sorcerers, sorceresses. Okay, this is the group. He's saying there are so many of you that are continually turning away from the intensity of your gifts because they frighten you. Maybe you do a meditation, maybe you do like a guided experience and it starts to get too real. Maybe your body starts to shake, or you start to feel like you're lifting up out of your body, or you start to get overwhelming chills or overwhelming emotions, and you keep stopping right at the doorway of your unbound gifts. You keep walking up to the threshold and then backing away, walking up to the threshold and then backing away. You need to step through it. You need to trust that you are meant to embody all of your power and gifts and spells and magic, and that you are a sorcerer and a sorceress, and that it's okay for you to step into that sparkling. He's showing me this golden threshold, this golden doorway, and we walk up to it, and what's on the other side is like black with stars all through it, like a cloud of like the night sky. And like we keep too afraid of that because we can't see exactly what's on the other side or what's inside of it. So we keep, ooh, ooh, ooh. And if you're doing this teeter-totter thing at the edge of your gifts, this is for you, and you're being asked to go fully into that, even when you don't know where it's going to lead. You need to surrender to your own. He's showing me you got your power locked down too tight, right? And we need to let it go and just see what happens, and know that we are safe and that we can trust and that we're meant to do that, or we wouldn't have those gifts and that power. So really intense. It feels really intense, this message. And I hope that you are receiving this well. I know that the right people are going to see that. Anubis, is there anything else about this? Can you tell us how to do that? He's saying it's going to be in a sacred space when you're not around someone. You're going to need to be alone to do it, because you need to not be worried about what it looks like or the sounds that might come out of you or what might happen. You need to feel safe in like a contained little room where you've got a sacred setting going, some sage and some candles, and always, you guys, sacred space. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with archangels, asking Archangel Michael to surround you with that blue bubble of protection that filters to your highest good. Then never forget to connect to God's source and ask to be anchored in your truth. All of that will give you clarity and protection. And I would never do what this Anubis is recommending without that first, okay? Always protect yourself first and foremost. But once you do that sacred space and you're in a room where you can, and I'm seeing candles and some, maybe like an Egyptian music playlist. You can find stuff like that on Spotify, ancient Egyptian music. And then calling on, not necessarily Anubis, but maybe if you feel called to, but more so, he said, calling on the gods and the goddesses of the ancient civilization that you specifically feel so connected to. Now, if it is ancient Egypt and you don't know which gods and goddesses you're meant to work with, you can also ask. You can also, like, because you've set up a sacred space that everything's for your highest good, you're free to then say, I call on the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. I call on the higher dimensional and the galactic beings from ancient Egypt. I am meant to work with one of you or more. Who is it? Step forward and then really tune in to your clairs. This is where you need to learn to use your clairs, you guys. This is where you need to learn how to see, hear, feel, and know what is happening around you and what you are being sent as a communication. And then once you do that, again, do that alone. That way you can really let go and let it in. Like, see yourself either walking up to that golden doorway that I saw. It's like a big arched golden doorway. There's stairs up to it. And then on the other side is just this black clouds with stars. leap into it, like do that as a visualization, because that will get you there, or ask the people that you call in to unlock it, like through energy work, like lie down and ask them to, like, or you could do both, ask them to go through your blueprint and like unlock all the little things that need to be unlocked to release the harnesses and the chains that you have in your own magic. Okay, Anubis, is there anything else? Is there an activation here for us? He says yes, but for the ancient Egyptian souls is the one he can do. Okay. He's saying, imagine that your soul has, and I point here because your soul's in your high heart, imagine that your soul has many pairs of eyes. A set of eyes from every lifetime that you've ever had. And when I speak this activation into your higher heart where your soul is, that it will awaken the ancient Egyptian version of you and the eyes of your ancient Egyptian self, the priest, the priestess, the sorcerer, the sorceress, whatever that was, the eyes of that will open. And once the eyes open, there's a new awareness. It's an awakening. It's an awakening and an awareness of that version of you, which includes the lifetime stories, the Akashic stories of what happened, any, maybe traumas from the ancient Egyptian lifetimes that need healing, which is important for us to do this work, the gifts, the divine connections and guides connected to that, everything from that lifetime, your guides, your magic, your purpose, your gifts, your experiences, the energy, everything from that lifetime, like, will be activated and awakened when the eyes of that part of your soul open. So you might even see the eyes in your third eye as we do this. So if this is for you, the ancient Egyptian activation, then get into receiving mode, right? Lean back. We're going into the high heart for this one. So yes, tilt the chin up a little bit. Hands, palms up for this to receive through the palms as well. Okay, so tilt up, lean back like that. I'm going to ask Anubis how we can, he says, when I speak the ancient Egyptian coding, it will, that little part of your soul will start to stir as if coming up from slumber, and then they will awaken. Okay. Let me just merge with Anubis for a second here and do this. Vas ki ramasa, voreandash corsi, vasadi amora, ingara, soria mashada, sorsind karish, sorias, shodis kamar sind orshid, sadavia, soramar, sorsh, ida kara, oranis, Shodas, vadomia corsid, vadia sadaya shodoyamor, vindayas corsindad, voramasidi. Feel the eyes of that part of you open now and try to see them, the shape, the color. Sorindishkid, Sora, I call to you, ancient Egyptian one. Sor Vindayamor, into your power again. Sod Shidkizia Dasa, into this world. Sodomia Sodosa, into this human template. Vodash, this code to unleash your magic and power. Sodayamoyoso, to integrate with your human avatar. Vash dosodiamor kish, to use your magic, your power, and your ancient ways. Shish das kiadaso, and your spells and your creation methods. Shodis kiadaso, and your portals and your vortexes of power. Sod shidis kada, in the light of service. Sod indayomo, to the people of this world. Shidis, that are trying to leave kadma, slavery. Adotsiamora. And so it is done. Maybe place your hands over your high heart to really feel into that happening. Oh, I do feel something happening in there. I knew that one was for me. I knew that it was for me. Let me know if that one was for you. She intense, folks. Wow. Okay. Okay, well, I always love going to sum up when something ridiculously profound just happened, because like, how do we move on from that? But we just do, because we're human and we figure it out, and it's hilarious. What do I need to say to you? Okay, here's what I need to say to you. This just popped in. I need you to become such a master, all three of the groups here that were just spoken to directly. I need you to become such a master of the clairs in order to do this work. And in order to make this super, super accessible to you, I have a beautiful, powerful AF new course that is 50% off for Black Friday for Starseed. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to run this the month of November. So you've got some time to check this out. I will put it in the description of this video. It's 44 lessons to make you a master of the clairs. This is the intense training that people get inside of Psychic Light and inside of Weaver of Light, all put down into a like go at your own pace course. Right? So you get to move through the lessons at your own pace. And as you unlock new modules, new things unlock to you, 44 lessons, lifetime access to everything, including any updates that I do in the future. It's crazy. It's going to be like an $800 course, but right now it's $397 to get it to as many people as possible. If you are one of these groups, I know you need it. Like, I know it's for you. I just feel like I just did that and just created that. And then this video happened, which was so spontaneous. I had no idea what this is going to be about. And there's like a clicking together happening of why I have this on for 50% off right now and why I need it to reach so many people. So do not sleep on this. Go and look at the curriculum. Go and look at it. There's like a little video so you can see inside of what it looks like. And there is very, very, intense, detailed descriptions of what you will achieve and accomplish inside of this course. And it is truly a master level course. It's crazy the price that I'm doing it at. So fly to that right now. Tell me which group you were. Were you with Anubis? Were you with the Phoenix? Were you with the Blue Avian? Very distinct and different feelings to all of them, and you might feel like maybe more than one was for you, and that's okay too, but maybe one really stood out. I really want to know. I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this style of video. I've never done anything like this before, because we can try this again with different groups. I want to thank you so much for hanging out, and I mean, if you're still here an hour in, I bow down to you. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to share this video. I think that this is a really big, important one to share. We need to get this to the people that are meant to see it. Share it, share it, share it. It's divinely orchestrated when you do, the people that it lands in front of, like digitally. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you. I love you. And before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you so much, Starseed. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.